Edward Warren Smith was born on 1963 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He was a son of hard-working Americans Walter and Josephine Smith and had 12 siblings. Eddie was raised in Christian home in Brookfield, where he learned how to be loving, respectful, and trusting human being. According to his brother J.W., Eddie has inherited all the blessings that the family structure offers, and the greatest of these blessings was love. Eddie was referred to as Sheik in his area, because of the turban-like head covering he frequently wore. Eddie was last seen in the evening of June 14, 1990 while leaving the Phoenix Bar in Milwaukee with Dahmer. Eddie followed Dahmer to his grandmother's house in West Allis. Dahmer drugged, strangled, and dismembered his body. Then he immersed the remains in acid. Eddie was reported missing in June 1990, but there were no leads and Eddie's family lived in ignorance of their relative's fate for a year. After his arrest in 1991, Dahmer confessed to killing Eddie. His body was never found, but authorities found photos of Eddie in the killer's house. On the trial, while family statements, Smith's family was represented by one of Eddie's brothers, James Wiley, also known as J.W. He read the statements on behalf of his siblings and their mother, Joseph Patrick. Edward is gone, and I find comfort in these words. Whosoever believeth in me shall never die. Michael Fitzgerald. I'm sure Edward was a friend to Jeffrey Dahmer as he was to us who knew him well. I have that pictures in my mind that are running continuously. How can anyone comprehend or come to accept that never again in this life will Edward be? Ernest Richard. The death of Eddie has shown me the injustices in the world today. John Andrew. Jeffrey Dahmer has erased a million future memories of me and my closest brother. Teresa. I need to tell my brother that I love him and it hurts thinking about what he could have become. Henry Gale. Will never get over the effects that Jeffrey Dahmer has placed in my mind and forever imprinted in my life. May God send Eddie's soul to rest in peace. Carolyn N. Mr. Jeffrey Dahmer took away my best friend, my better half, my roommate. He took away the laughter. His biggest dream was to be a model, and I hope that one day I can fulfill his dream of being a queen-size model and keep people laughing as much as he did. Robert Esther. I miss you, Edward, and I love you. And maybe now you can finally be at rest. James Wiley. Our dad is gone, and now so are you. I never had a chance to say goodbye to either of you. Dad taught us to love and accept each person for who they are. You are unique, and I loved you. Mia. I wanted to see justice to be done, and no dollar amount can bring my brother back. If you feel any remorse, let's change the son of Sam Law to Jeffrey Dahmer Law. Walter Lewis. It is hard to conceive that a person could take another's life. It belonged to someone. How can you fix what is broken, replace what is lost? Another sibling, posable brother named Maddie May, but I'm not sure. It is easy for me to forgive the sin done to my brother Ed, but to forget, I cannot. I find each day an inward struggle, but in my faith I find comfort. Josephine. This is a terrible tragedy to my family, but I still have 12 children to live for. In them, hopefully, I will overcome it. Eddie's sister Carolyn Smith expressed the family's desire to let America know about Eddie and what we've been experiencing all these months. We have been going through this prior to the hearing. After Eddie's death, his brother Ernest fell into depression. He started drinking and ran into trouble with the law. J.W. Smith said Eddie's style of life was dress uniquely flamboyant. He was intelligent, witty, compassionate toward the human race. At the time Eddie's life was taken from him, he was searching for his place amongst you and me. All taught we have tried it. It's impossible to summarize 27 years of this young man's life in 5 minutes. What's interesting, Eddie's sister Teresa made friends with Dahmer's father and stepmother. In interview from 1994 she said, I don't hold them responsible for what Jeff did ever. She also visited Dahmer in jail, where he apologized to her for what he did to Eddie. 7 of Eddie's siblings died already at a young age. His father, Walter, died in 1981, 10 years before his son's death. His mother, Josephine, passed away in 1996 at the age of 70. Eddie was 27 years old when he died. If he was alive, he'd be 60 today.